That's right. That's right. Except it's Friday afternoon, and we're here with the absolute wonderful group from Life's QR. We have Jen and Julie. You've probably seen them at one of your conventions. If you go to any of them, they're always everywhere. You're walking through these cemeteries now. Have you ever seen the QR codes on the headstones where they have beautiful tributes for their families? Well, they're responsible for that, and it's just a beautiful, touching way to have memories for your loved one. And they have a platform that stands above the rest. And I would love to talk about how Life's QR came to be and how you picked this lovely industry that we're in to dive in and bring us up to time and tell us about the start of everything with Life's QR, if you don't mind.
Sure. Well, I'm Jennifer, and I'm the owner of Life's QR and the creator. And my previous career, believe it or not, I am actually a celebrity portrait photographer, which seems like strange to be in the funeral industry now. I'm learning a lot. I have some of my work here. Actually, I can show.
Okay, who is the most famous person that you took a portrait of? Top three, top three.
Okay, Vince Vaughn. I'm commissioned to photograph
Whoa.
kids every year. I photograph Donald Trump's grandchildren every year, commissioned since
What?
2012, and Megan Fox, all three.
Whoa.
And actually the newest one as well, that's her ex-husband's son. So I started my
Wow.
photography. I worked up front covers of magazines, celebrities, the whole bit, New York and LA mostly. And, a couple of things happened when I was doing that.
Uh-huh.
People said to me on repeat, their most valued possessions in their house, and these people had everything. Like you have to
Yeah,
imagine their houses were immaculate, beautiful.
sure.
Their most valuable possessions were the portraits that I was taking of their children. And I had them say, if my house was burning, Jen, I would go and grab the albums that you give me. And I
That's
always thought that to
beautiful.
be so touching. Like they have
No
everything you could
doubt.
ever imagine, decked out houses from like ceilings to floors. And it's the pictures that really are the most valuable to people. And during COVID, we're a Canadian company. So we're right on the border, which is great for our business. We do ship to the US, but we're in Canada. We cross the border
Sure.
almost every day. During COVID, my studio was shut down and I was unable to travel for a year and a half.
Right.
So I had a moment to pause. I had a moment to think. I also had a moment to like work out a little bit. And I found myself in our local cemetery just doing laps in the cemetery because it was quiet and everyone was nice that was there that I would see. So I'd go there. And
Yeah,
it was right when the QR code made a comeback. And I remember walking by my
no doubt.
grandmother's grave and thinking, why are we not using QR codes to tell people's stories and to share their
Mhm.
legacies, to celebrate their life well lived? Like my grandmother, she was the wife of a preacher. She was avid in the community, women's rights, marching. She ran community groups. And on her headstone, it's a beautiful headstone. On her headstone is just her name and a date. And it
Yeah,
seems so sad to walk by and think there's so many more stories to be told.
yeah.
So my husband is a computer programmer. He's government level, and I went home and we talked
What a
about it.
nice asset to have in your life.
Yeah, it's a great asset to have. And we talked about it. We started talking about it in 2020. We talked about it and for about 6 months of 2021. And finally, I said, okay, like we have to do this. And so we did it. He hired a friend to help him program the website. The two of them got to work. I did the branding. I completely switched my focus of my career to life's
Yeah.
hired Julie to start, who's a lovely sales manager and one of my best friends in the world. And now we have a staff of just under 10 people, and we travel around to
Nice.
the shows. We're spreading the word, and we're working with the funeral industry to create this, I guess, modern way of celebrating life.
Ah, it's beautiful. It's really, it's a touching thing and something that the families could hold on to forever, which is so important. And just being able to use what we have at our fingertips now, literally a computer in your pocket every single day, and to be able to remember your loved ones and think about them and continue on their legacy, really. And um, I think one of your big things too is when you're walking around a cemetery, maybe you're seeing generations past, grandparents, great grandparents, people that maybe you didn't really know as a person, and to be able to have something like this where you could go in and see who they were as a person is just an incredible thing, and it's such a cool idea. And I know people eat it up. Like we've seen, the videos of the QR codes on all the tombstones go crazy, and people just love it. It's such a good idea, in a way to keep the cemeteries going. And it's really, there's no other real ways for a cemetery to progress, really. Well, you found a way for a cemetery to advance forward. It's so cool. I have two little things. I'm going on a tangent. This is completely off the wall, but I was at because you took photographs of Trump's children, and this is not a political thing whatsoever, so don't think that I'm going that way. I'm at my friend's lake house, and there's a woman that lives next door to them, and she's an artist. And so she asked us if we wanted to go over to her house to see her art. And we're like, that's okay. We don't really want to do that. We don't want to do that. And then one of my friends goes over there, and it was dark at night. It's like in this wooded area. It's got this giant spotlight. So it seemed very scary at the time. You're probably like, where is he going with this? And we're all sitting around a campfire, joking around, saying, oh, he's going to get killed while he's over there. Like it's like a horror story. He comes back and he's like, you guys got to go in there. He's like, you just got to go. And he goes in, and there's portraits of Trump everywhere. Oh. She is like the number one painter of like donating to his cause, whatever it is. But it was very interesting. Let me tell you, it was very fitting for that circumstance. Tangent number 2. Have you ever heard of that poem called The Dash?
Yes.
Yeah. Like what's
Yes, Jen, when you were saying that, I was like, that reminds me of that poem, and your company embodies like what that poem is. So for any funeral directors that don't know it, you should go and read it. And also, it's a beautiful thing if you're giving, either a prayer or saying some words at the end of a ceremony, a fantastic one to use.
Yeah, so inspirational to just like, you got to feel that in between the dash.
Yeah, absolutely.
Make it like full and meaningful.
All right, Julie, let's hear your rundown. Give it to us.
Oh, my story. What do you need to know?
From birth till today.
Pardon?
From birth till today.
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, I've known Jen for years. I used to be a photographer as well. I wasn't as successful as her, obviously, but
she's good.
She's anyway.
She's the best.
I took a turn in my life, and I was really fascinated with I wanted to be like helping people, and I wanted to so I went to be a therapist. I worked very closely with the palliative care community and the dementia care community.
Oh, okay.
So so I was doing a lot of therapy with them for years, and it definitely really is the backbone to why I'm so passionate about Life's QR. Because I saw those memories fade. I saw the family struggle through palliative, like before they passed.
Yeah.
And even just having Life's QR, like people are actually making it before people are passing. So it's also like a pre-need. They're making it with their families during like. So it's a beautiful product for that purpose as well. But for me, and then it's just I used to have graphic design and marketing. So I have all that before I was a photographer, and it just kind of like. It just tumbled, and Jen was like, offered me this.
Amazing. Our first trade show, I'm like, hey, like, I'm doing this thing now. Yeah. Like, come with me. Like, let's go to a couple shows. Yeah. And we had a great time at the shows.
Yeah.
The shows
we learned a lot.
We learned.
Yes.
We're not new anymore, but we were new for a while.
Yeah.
And the things that we would see at the shows, I needed some support to see those things. So I'm like, Julie, come with me.
What you guys do every day, we are in awe. Yeah, it is definitely a calling. You guys are wonderful. Yeah. Yes.
Thank you.
We are an honor to be around. When we go to a funeral director show, you guys are amazing.
That's so nice. I think it goes a long way, understand that.
Yeah, you guys celebrate life every day. A
That
celebration of life is the theme of the parties. Yeah.
honestly, it is though. Like you get that perspective, like being in an industry where you're surrounded by people coming to an end, it makes you appreciate the day to day a lot more.
Yeah.
And that's cool that you see that from funeral directors and you come to appreciate it and assimilate yourself into this little niche that we have.
Yeah, it's a fun little niche. We
It
love it.
sure
Yeah.
is. It sure is. So tell us about the business side of things that you have going at Life's QR. What is your model? So is it more direct to the families, consumers? Are we going through funeral homes as well? What does that look like? And, what are some things that we can offer to our families as something that's just beneficial for them and obviously makes your funeral home look good because you're giving them a service that they're going to have on, forever in theory.
Yeah, I mean, like we do have a beautiful wholesale program for the funeral homes, and we really take care of everything for them. We have a gorgeous display case that you can stack our products out. They're all beautifully designed.
Yeah.
So
Everyone on YouTube, watch on YouTube.
Yeah.
yeah,
Nice.
yeah, watch on YouTube. But so we have the wholesale displays. We provide the funeral homes with signs and brochures.
Yep.
Marketing.
We also provide the funeral homes. It's really like a white glove service. We send our partners a media kit of about 10 graphics a month, surrounding the occasions, Veterans Day, Memorial Day, Remembrance Day, Mother's Day, Father's Day,
Yep.
Christmas. So they can share in their social media and they can share with
Oh,
their
that's nice.
newsletters. So
Yeah.
we give them that. We give them the brochures. We give them nice samples to show people when they're meeting with the family. They can actually bring the sample in and talk about it. So
Mhm.
we're really trying to get the funeral homes as much success as possible selling it. And the ones that we
Yeah.
are doing great. We're in over 100 funeral homes and cemeteries
Wow, that's awesome.
already, just within just over a year.
That's
And
amazing.
then on our side, we also sell right to the public. And we have
Yep.
social media influencers talking about it. You can order it on lifesqr.com. So we're kind of like, we're going both ways.
Yeah.
But with the funeral industry, we love seeing them being successful, offering this to their clients for sure, because people are actually starting to ask for it. We do have some pretty big social media influencers. And as well, because of my celebrity connections in my previous life,
Sure.
we have some celebrities talking about it on their
That's
Instagram, their
awesome.
YouTube. We have some pretty big social media influencers talking about it. So because of that, and because of that previous experience that I have, people are now
Mhm.
coming into the funeral homes asking for it. So
Yeah.
we're happy
Yeah.
to promote it there.
That's beautiful. So you'd be able to do that. Like, let's say if someone did walk in, it would be no problem. You'd be able to service any funeral home, it seems like.
Yes. Yeah.
Nice. That's great. And then, so I'm assuming like a funeral home could have, whatever markup they wanted to make up like for the margin, so that they're making a little bit off the top, I'd assume.
Yes. So we do have the retail cost listed on the website. So we have a suggested retail cost. We
Gotcha.
wholesale it starting at a $100 discount. So which means that there's
Wow.
at least a $100 profit for every one that the funeral home sells.
Yeah.
And the more they purchase, the better price they get it at. So if they purchase 50 to have an inventory, then their price goes down and then they make more money. If they're very
Gotcha.
successful at selling it, that's definitely the way to go. But we also have some funeral homes that are offering a white glove service to their clients. And I love hearing this, where they're charging a little bit extra and their front desk staff are actually creating the memorials for the client. So it's a white glove service for the client and they're making a little bit of
Oh,
extra money doing that. But overall, if they sell one to one of their clients, they make $100 profit. It's a very easy sale. The client can take it home and very easily create it. It's very user friendly. It's like Facebook.
yeah. Wow, that's really cool. So I'm just like brainstorming, because you said that people are even doing this before they pass away. Um,
Yes.
yeah, so that's where I was sort of thinking was you can offer this to funeral homes families saying, if you ever wanted to build your own page or for someone else in your family to start doing that and to add to their legacy before, they
Yeah.
actually go, move on. I think that's a really cool thing and something that a funeral home could go direct to their families and their past clients with, whether they have a mailing list or an email list, whatever that might be. That would be pretty cool thing. So are you able to do that? So you wouldn't physically, I guess, have the QR code yet. How would that work? I suppose it would just be on your site.
Oh, you would just purchase the sign, and then it
Okay.
just starts the scan of your sign, and it just
Yeah.
it's just a very user friendly. It's just like email passcode, and you just can start, and you can access it anytime. It's a work of art, so you
Yeah.
can just it can build it over time. People can leave messages like YouTube videos. They can leave to their loved ones, and especially when you are actively dying, you have no control. And this just gives people a little bit of control over what they leave behind. It's
Yeah.
really, we found that we've talked to a lot of our customers and they're finding it very comforting to have this option.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can leave messages for their children on there. And
Oh,
their
gosh.
It's like, so think
I know.
about, right?
I don't know. I don't know if I could handle that. I don't know if I could do it. I would
every time
stop.
your son goes to visit you, they can scan it and it can be like,
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you. Like, here's our favorite memories together. And like, I always think, we joke
Oh.
and think I would want to be in control of what pictures I would
my
include.
God.
Like, if I left it up to my husband, it would be like my driver's license picture, my
Yeah.
passport.
Nothing from the age of 19 to 22, please.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really, I mean, that's a beautiful thing. And what a memory you could give your family, I guess, in that respect too. That's really, it's just beautiful. It really is. And how is it, I guess, dealing with the cemetery side of things? Do you have to, I guess it's their tombstone, so they could really do what they want, or is there any regulation or any talks that people have to have with cemeteries for that?
Yes.
I don't know, honestly.
Yeah, there's so many rules. There was a lot of barriers in the beginning, but it's really lifting now. Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of cemeteries are actually changing their bylaws to make this accommodating for people because people are buying it. They should be able to have the right to share their story. And there is a collective need to remember. Like if you walk around cemeteries, there's pictures on like people are putting the things around, and
there's like
yes, absolutely. You got golf clubs, you got flowers, you got teddy bears and pictures, and
This is a nice way to clean it up. Just get it off the ground, clean it up so everything is clean.
And it lasts forever.
Weatherproof. Weatherproof.
Yeah.
The steel, it's laser etched with a fiber laser.
Oh, fiber laser.
Yeah.
We make sure we know about that.
Wait, what does that mean? I don't know what that means. Am I a dork or what?
Yeah. We had someone ask us what kind of laser was laser etched with before, so we made sure we know everything about Life's QR. Yeah.
Wow, you sure do. That's cool. And it lasts what is the actual QR? Is that like stainless steel type of thing, isn't it? Right? That's perfect.
It's real wood stainless steel.
Yeah.
Laser etched. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, I can see. That's so nice.
Use the same tape as
it's the three
the classic
VHB tape there. Yeah.
You can never get it off your walls. That's exactly what you want.
If you can, just in case people are concerned, there is special adhesive
remover. So you can remove them. It's not going to damage the stone if you do it properly. But if something should happen and you want to remove it in 50 years, you can. Yeah.
That's cool. All right, I have a interesting question that I'm sure that you guys have thought about with the trends of cremation on the rise. Have you thought about dipping into that in some? Hey, you're already on it. I knew you'd have something.
Yes, we do.
Come on, it's like I knew. It's like I knew it. I'm telling you, I did not know.
This is our new little product, the little hearts for urns.
Come a little bit closer if you don't mind, Julie.
Yes, it's
one sweet and petite for urns or picture frames. It can be attached to a picture frame.
A little bit closer, please, if you don't mind, Julie. There you go.
Right there. So,
okay.
So we'll go on to urns, and people are loving it.
And for scattering in the cemeteries, we have these garden signs. It's a nice stainless steel stake that can actually be planted in the gardens in the cemeteries. So
Yep.
in the scattering grounds, you can have some of these if you want, and then
Yeah, I remember seeing those at the show. Yeah, those are cool.
Mhm.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's really good idea for the urns for sure. Especially if someone's displaying it like in their house too,
Yeah,
and you have visitors over, it's better than like meet the parents where they had it on the mantle, it's like they actually have something that they can go and I mean, who wouldn't scan it? It'd be like more so tempting to do it. It's like you have to.
I know. Well, we
And they're
actually
being passed down. Like these
they are.
urns, these urns will be passed down.
Yeah.
Right.
To generations to
Yes.
come. And it's kind of like, well, who is this person?
Yeah.
Bam, right there.
So I
Yeah.
actually have one of those, these little hearts on a picture frame. So I've attached it to a picture frame of my grandmother because with Life's QR, you can link more than one memorial together. So we have a QR
Oh,
cemetery on her headstone now to fill in her dash. And then at home on my bookshelf, I have
nice.
this little guide, but it's really just for me. Like if I'm feeling lonely, I can scan it. I can sit down with a cup of coffee and look at all of her
Mm.
pictures, all of her
Mhm.
memories. Our family photos are on there. My mom put recipes on there, so she has pictures like my
Ooh.
grandmother's chili sauce and my grandmother's oatmeal cookies on there. So it's really
Do you
like
need a secret
everything about
password to access those?
what I don't know. I'll send them to you later.
We should make your grandma's cookies, bring them to the trade show.
Oh my gosh, we should do that. Well,
See,
we will.
that would be such a good way. Just that smell, that would get people coming to you. That's a promise.
Yes, that's right. And the recipe
I
is on
think
bar.com.
this is genius.
Oh,
And
thank
with that, everyone in the family could have one of those, and then you just put it on a picture of them or you and your
you.
family with that loved one. I really like that. That's so smart. And what's, if you don't mind, what's like the pricing on something like that then? So if you were going to have one, what do you call it? Do you call it a memorial page? Like what do you call the actual page, I guess?
It's like a tribute page.
Tribute
Yeah.
page. Okay.
So it depends on the size of the product, but all of them are the same, like the same tribute page.
Got
So
it.
this one right here, retail is $225.
Mhm.
It's a one-time fee. It's hosted
Yep.
in the cloud, and the family never has to pay again.
Yep.
Wholesale, it's $65. So the funeral homes buy it for $65. They sell it for $225.
Yep.
They tell the families they never have to pay, which they don't. It's a fraction of the cost of an obituary in the newspaper, and it's around for a lot longer.
It's not even close. It's not even close. The
Yes.
Chicago Tribune is even for a small little blip, no photo, nothing. You're double 225 already. I'm
Yes.
telling you. And
Yes.
this is so much better, so much better than that. I mean, infinite. Like,
Yeah.
that's really great.
And you can always, like, again, with the database, you don't need this to access it. If you don't have this near you, you just go into the database, look up your loved one's last name, and you have access to the
Right.
page and time.
That's really nice too for surrounding family that maybe doesn't have that, or I'm assuming they could buy one of those after the fact too. Is that possible?
Yeah. Oh, they can buy them anytime. So
Yeah.
the best thing about Life's QR, you're like, I'm selling it. I'm not selling it. I want to brag.
Sure, you're not. You're only the founder. You're not selling it. I mean, you sold me, so.
It's not just for the families that the funeral homes are serving at that moment. Like they can
Correct.
reach back. Like we
Oh,
made
yeah.
my grandmother's almost 20 years after she passed away.
Wow.
And my mom made it. And my mom is 78 years old. She was able to
Wow.
put all of her childhood memories down, record how she spent her Christmases, her favorite memories of my grandmother. We put all of the family photos and recipes in her album, put it on her headstone. But it's like, you can make it for your grandparents that passed away. If you're a genealogist, we have a big community of people doing that as well, that want to create it for their family members that passed away 50 years ago.
Yeah. That's smart. Yeah. That's a whole different market you could tap into then is, the past people that you've helped too. And really what it comes down to, it's a service to them. And it's something, funeral homes have their tribute pages on their websites, but it's very different and bare bones in comparison to what you're able to do is what it seems like. What are some of your favorite, I guess, pages that you've seen families make, or favorite features that people have taken advantage of that you thought was like, oh, that's a great idea?
The one near the bench, the one in Niagara Falls Children's Memorial.
Yeah, there was someone there who, instead of having a traditional obituary, which a lot of people just copy and paste the obituary and put it in the biography section, and that's totally fine.
Yep.
Especially if you're lost for words, you can always go back and edit it and change it over time. So you can always, add to it as the years come. But there's one in particular in Niagara Falls. There's a children's memorial garden that uses Life's QR through the garden. So it's an interactive garden. It's really cool to walk through and scan. And they put this person's favorite foods, favorite teachers, favorite celebrities, favorite bands, favorite childhood friends, all the characteristics. So you can sit there and sit on this person's bench, Rick Oswald, his name is, and you can scan it and you can read all about this man, his favorite things, all of his friends are listed. And then when you go to, Julie and I sat on it, we almost were in tears. Because when you go to the video section, embedded there, he was a big Pearl Jam fan. And Eddie Vedder came through the concert. The family contacted, and Eddie Vedder was on stage dedicating the song to Rick Oswald, and it's on his Life's QR memorial. So we sat there, we almost cried, right? Yeah. And
I got the chills right now.
To Eddie Vedder. So that's cool. We have historical
Chicago boy, Eddie Vedder.
Oh, there you go.
He's technically from Evanston, so it doesn't count, but that's okay.
So he's still my boyfriend.
I saw him.
Videos are fun to look at. We have the Wright brothers that have a Life's QR in front of their graves on the
Cool.
So that's neat in a way because the Wright brothers invented flying, of course, but their grave is a family grave. So it's not just them; it's the mother, the father, the sister, the other siblings. I think that there's some cousins in there. It's a huge family gravesite. So you can go to the Wright brothers, you scan it, and you read about the Wright brothers. You can watch them take their first flight when you're standing right in front of the grave, the Life's QR code. Leave a guest book entry, so it's fun to look at that as well.
Yeah.
There's so many ways that you can use that for history, just for even explaining more about that individual. Cool.
How wonderful will it be, in a generation or two, for people that are able to go back and learn about, their great grandparents? Like, most of us know very, very minimal, maybe not even your great grandparents' name, barely, most of us. Yet now you'd be able to know so much about them. I think that's like really cool. A lot of people are so into their family legacy and family tree that this is just like takes it and just puts it on steroids for like this day and age, I suppose. That's really cool. I love that.
Well, thanks. Yeah, like with technology, like, not just Life's QR, like Ancestry.com and all these different things that are contributing to, I guess, the future history records. It's really amazing. I think that something like Ancestry.com or like Life'sQR.com is cool because you can collectively like put all of your pictures in one place. Like, right now I have a cell phone feed. I'm very bad at getting my pictures printed. Even though I'm a photographer, you go through my cell phone feed forever to see like the one picture of my kid's like third birthday or something. I have to scroll down for about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
This is a way to take a minute, take an afternoon, put all the pictures in one place. So it's like a little time capsule. So instead of having a picture on Google Drive, a picture on Ancestry, a picture on your cell phone, a picture on your brother's cell phone, put them all together in one place. It's condensed and it's a safe place to keep them.
I like that term you just used. It's a digital time capsule. I think that's really good branding right there. Like it's spot on of what the deep meaning is behind it.
Thanks. Yeah.
What are the goals, the future? What would you like to see in 5 or 10 years with your business?
Yeah. I mean, like we're working on a new product line right now, like we discussed briefly, honoring veterans. So moving forward, as well as, selling to the public through the funeral industry and cemetery industry and through the website, through social media influencers, and all the things. Our next goal is to really bring history back to the cemetery and get the children and the youth involved in celebrating veterans. So we have a new product line We have a beautiful garden sign with the American flag on it. And I
That's
would love to
nice.
see, school buses come on Memorial Day and on Veterans Day, scan the signs, see what's going on, share the stories. There's a
Cool.
cemetery here in Niagara Falls that's doing that. They're the first cemetery doing it. It's Fairview Cemetery in Niagara. Mark Richardson is the owner, and he contacted us and said, listen, like, we want to get the kids involved in Remembrance Day. We want to get the schools here. We want to celebrate the history that we have in the cemetery. How can we do this? So we're doing interactive walking tours for the public. So now, instead of, if the volunteers aren't available, they can just walk around to the grave sites with a map, take a phone, and scan and learn about the history. So
Yeah.
changing the way we view cemeteries as more of a historical place where you can go and educate the children,
Right.
educate the community about the past leaders, the movers and the shakers that are there.
That's
Yeah.
really cool. I love that. I went to the cemetery in Normandy, the United States cemetery there, and man, would that have been cool to have something like that walking. It was nonetheless breathtaking, and I think it's the biggest American cemetery outside of the United States, and it was immaculate, beautiful, and it was very moving. But if something like that would just take it and amplify it like 10x for sure.
Right. Like my son is interested in, war things. And
Mhm.
I would love to be able to go to a cemetery and take a moment, look at the veterans and scan and say, look at this man flew this helicopter. He served in these locations. He won these awards. Here's his
Yeah.
family. Like, look at his picture. Like, it would be such an enriching experience. And
Mhm.
yeah, we were at Arlington last year. We were at Cana last year. So we spent a couple of days at Arlington when we were in Chicago. No, sorry, Washington. Yeah, we're all over the place. Yeah, we didn't go everywhere.
Arlington.
Yeah, Arlington was beautiful, and we would obviously love to see that. I know there's a lot of regulations and restrictions as far as like what
Sure.
allowed.
Yes. Even
But
more
we're
so at
starting
the
to-
national cemeteries. Yeah, that's wonderful. That's great. Well, I love what you guys are doing. Just keep up the good work. I think it's great for the families, great for the funeral homes. And if a funeral director or a funeral home is interested in using you all, what's the best way for them to reach out and get them started?
Contact
That's a
me
Julie question.
at or and we can set up a Zoom meeting.
She'll close you immediately.
Here. Yeah, I'm here to support. And or just go to the website and put in a wholesale submission form.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for taking the time. It was just a lovely conversation, and love what you're doing. So keep up the great work.
Thank you. Thanks for having us. This is